Pedro Pascal is being accused of getting too handsy with too many of his co-stars. Some people are concerned that Pedro might be overstepping boundaries and violating his female co-stars. Courtney Kardashian is being slammed for her bad parenting, while Kim Kardashian is trying to link onto a trending story for her own personal gain. Alicia Keys is headed for divorce after catching her husband Swizz Beatz having an affair with Lala Anthony. And then Alicia learned that he even shares a secret child with another woman.
I work for Swizz, and I need you to know that him and Lala have been having an affair. They are madly in love with each other, but he has already told Lala and continues to tell her, calm down, I'm not leaving my wife.
Let's get into it. Let's get into Pedro Pascal. Now, I've been a big fan of Pedro Pascal. I've seen him in so many different shows and movies, but recently I've received some alarming messages about Pedro. Now, it has to go back to his handsy behavior, him getting a little bit too comfortable with some of his co-stars. Now, Pedro Pascal being like a Harvey Weinstein is something I did not anticipate, and I don't think that he is like a Harvey Weinstein. I mean, there are a lot of people out there who are touchy-feely people who maybe don't have a great idea of personal space. Comment below if you are one of them. Honestly, back in the day, I feel like I used to be more touchy, but I'm definitely not anymore. Like, if people even want to take a picture with me, my hand is like floating around their body. I'm not even going to make contact. But it seems like Pedro Pascal is different. And recently, people have been labeling him overrated and creepy because of the ways that he interacts with his co-stars. You know, being in the industry, clearly it's not as professional as like the corporate world or even like retail or any jobs that you guys may work out there. I'm pretty sure the industry is less professional than that. So Pedro and his co-star Vanessa Kirby have been supposedly flirty lately with like nice little neck rubs, holding hands, hugging for maybe a little bit too long. In the film, Pedro plays Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and it looks like Vanessa is playing Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. Here's a clip of these two on the blue carpet for the premiere, and I want you to pay attention to Pedro's hand. Here's a clip of these two on the blue carpet for the premiere. He's like moving his arm up and down. In another moment, he's at some Comic-Con and it seems like he's holding hands with Vanessa. It looks like Pedro had a stumble on the red carpet, and as soon as he got up, he went to go and caress her face. Now, Pedro has admitted that physical touch helps him cope with anxiety. He's claiming there's nothing more to it. Quote, I was always the one to reach out when I'm facing something that is challenging or making me anxious. Can you imagine, like, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to grab your girlfriend's boob. I just have some anxiety. I just grab. But actually, no, what he's talking about here is legitimate. I do think that physical touch does provide relief. That's why there's like these like weighted blankets, or dogs, if they're scared of the storms, you put a little like tight like vest on them and they feel more secure. This comment reads, where's Pedrophile's hand this time? Another person writes, dude is a creep. This tweet reads, they're not a couple. This stuff is weird. And then finally, using a mental condition as an excuse to grope women is low. What a shameless individual. Now, I do think that while, you know, grabbing someone can help with anxiety, that does not like excuse the behavior. You need to have consent to go and touch someone. So even if this is Pedro's reasoning for touching up on people, I don't love it still. I mean, he needs to have that prior consent. But in the same breath, there's been moments where his co-stars are interacting the same way with him. I mean, it seems like they're just like hooking up behind the scenes.
These are gorgeous. I think that's my favorite image so far.
Just our hands.
Yeah.
That was our very first day
as long as you don't have to see my face. Terrible confession to make in front of Gordon.
It's because some of the best men in the world, so they don't count.
There is a lot of unnecessary touching. If I was in a relationship with one of these two, I would be upset. I mean, comment below if you wouldn't be. His co-star Vanessa defended his actions, recalling a moment where he actually grabbed her hand at Comic-Con. This was the moment where they were on stage and there was like the poster in the background, which is black and yellow. She said, quote, "What happened is we were both incredibly nervous going out in front of thousands of people who love this comic. He wanted me to know that we were in this together, and I found it a lovely gesture and was very glad to squeeze his hand back." Supposedly, Pedro uses touching as a grounding technique to navigate social situations, which might trigger his anxiety. And you know, I just don't think you can grab people. Like, I faint. I get real anxiety, but I'm not like jumping towards someone to go and faint on them. I don't know why that's his go-to. Now, skeptics call this excuse BS, but some clinical professionals have acknowledged that it can help. I mean, clearly it's not a cure for this, so there's probably other coping mechanisms as well. But this expert says when it comes to Pedro, wherever you fall on this particular case, the real winner here is the studio, as the internet has been filled with clicks and commentary surrounding Pedro Pascal, which ultimately goes back to the Fantastic Four movie, and there's a bunch of buzz about this, but I don't think Pedro probably appreciates this news about him out there. Let's get into Courtney Kardashian. These celebrities can have every single resource in the world, and I mean every single one of them, and still not know how to properly parent their children. Courtney Kardashian got a lot of backlash recently because she put her son, Rocky Barker, in a life-threatening situation. She went onto a boat ride, but did not put him in a vest. This is what happens when you have too much money and no rules, because every time I go onto a boat, no, I don't own a boat. My family does not own a boat. So we would have to go and like, follow the rules of whoever gives you the boat. They make you wear those life vests, especially if you're in a speeding boat. You wave the wrong way and then baby Rocky is gone. Courtney's in some rough waters with fans after she posted a picture of her 21-month-old son, Rocky 13, which, 13's the middle name, kind of gives me bad luck. But Courtney's seen lounging on the back of the boat and her little one is cuddled up in her lap, but fans can't help but to notice that Rocky's not wearing a life vest. So if he just went overboard, I mean, I guess, would he float? I don't know. This comment reads, please put a life jacket on that sweet babe. Another person writes, nice life with jackets. And finally, what? No life vests? Isn't that against the law? Courtney posted the picture on her page, as well as confirming that she was breastfeeding her son. Celebrating the fact that she could after doctors told her she wouldn't be able to. Wow. Congratulations. How long can women breastfeed for? I actually have no idea. Hopefully that milk. I was going to make a joke about the milk, but you know what? Let's just not even go there. I'm glad that baby Rocky's latching. That's very important. Courtney did later acknowledge her wrongdoing, saying that she did bring him into the boat with no life vest, but she is now going to go and purchase one. So she's like, thanks for all the heads up. I'm going to do better next time. And you know what? That's all we could really ask for. She said that she hopes this incident makes other mommies aware of the dangers of certain types of boating without a proper life vest. Let's get into Alicia Keys. Did you guys all love Alicia Keys growing up? Because I was obsessed. So as soon as I saw this story, I was like, wait, we need to jump on this. Now, there are rumors that Alicia Keys' man, Swizz Beatz, had cheated on her with Lala Anthony. There are also some talks on whether he and Alicia Keys are possibly swingers. Allegedly, Swizz Beatz and Lala Anthony are madly in love, but he refuses to leave his wife, Alicia Keys. Now, this woman named Miss Jones claims that Swizz had to tell Lala to chill because she's usually the first person to repeatedly comment under his Instagram posts, and he was worried that her behavior could expose their love affair. I think that's very interesting that she feels the need to go and post on his page like multiple times, because clearly there's an insecurity there. If she felt secure in their affair, she wouldn't go and do these petty things to try to claim him. Now, Miss Jones, our source, got a DM with this information. So could Alicia Keys be headed towards a divorce?
Because I held this in for an entire year, right? So when we first launched the reunion show, somebody that claims to be working in Swizz's camp reached out to me in what I now know is a DM via direct messenger, right? saying, I work for Swizz and I need you to know that him and Lala have been having an affair. They are madly in love with each other, but he has already told Lala and continues to tell her, calm down, I'm not leaving my wife. If you don't believe me, go on his page on IG. He always starts leaving comments in the morning and she be the first one to respond. But she don't just leave one response. She keeps it going and going and going to the point where he says, you got to chill because it's starting to look obvious to my wife. So I said, who are you and why are you giving this information to me? God, I love you. Thank you so much. I'm blessed. But I'm not going to be the one. I'm not going to be the one to mess up my new chance by taking this information and running with it. So I never went hard with it. I might have mentioned it slightly, but I never went hard with it. Then, so like a little after that, Alicia Keys drops an album or a single. Mike, tell her the title.
The title would be Lala.
What?
Now, interestingly enough, Alicia Keys has a song titled Lala, and Swizz Beatz decided to go and share this on Instagram. Now, shout out to Miss Jones for retrieving that tea. It was lovely. But Jasmine Brand, an Instagram page, posted about this on social media. It looks like Swizz decided to respond by writing "Knock it TF off." Now, on August 5th, there were reports that Alicia Keys is going to prepare to file for divorce from Swizz Beatz following these allegations that he had another kid with another woman. The news came after the couple marked their 15th wedding anniversary quietly. They didn't post anything about each other. According to an Instagram blogger, the @name is nosleep_411. The affair resulted in a paternity test, which was a court-ordered situation. So Swizz probably wasn't trying to accept they had gotten this woman pregnant. She had the kid and took him to court. This kind of news spreads like wildfire. So many different outlets were talking about this other child. Now it's not just an affair with Lala Anthony. There's a whole other kid involved.
It began like so many scandals do with a grainy, low-resolution clip slipping onto a shadowy fan forum in the early hours of a Tuesday morning. At first, it looked like just another private moment gone public, but within hours, it detonated across timelines and headlines. Viewers paused, blinked, rewound. That wasn't just anyone in the video. That was Swizz Beatz, unmistakable in his chain and his voice, and the woman with him? None other than Lala Anthony. And not just once, multiple timestamps. Over multiple years, different locations, different hairstyles, but always the same two, together intimately.
What's unfortunate about Alicia Keys' situation is that Swizz Beatz has been accused of this behavior before. It looks like Alicia Keys was once upon a time the other woman because Swizz was married to a singer named Mashonda. Mashonda claims that his relationship with Alicia is why their marriage ended. Swizz left Mashonda. He went on to marry Alicia. They have 2 kids together, and maybe he's doing it all over again. Starting a business sounds exciting until you realize how many different hats you have to wear. One minute you're designing a logo, the next you're figuring out payment processing. And then on top of that, you're supposed to run marketing as well. It can get overwhelming fast, which is why so many people turn to Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses worldwide, and even powering 10% of all e-commerce in the US. From household names like Mattel to Gymshark, and of course, those smaller brands too that are just getting started. Shopify is so easy to use, you could pick from hundreds of different templates to go and create your website. You don't need any coding experience. My favorite part is their AI tool because it can go and help with the descriptions, the photo enhancements. They can help you write headlines for your pages. And when it's time to get noticed, they have plenty of tools to help you run a marketing campaign on social media as well. So what are you waiting for? Turn your big business idea into some with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today. Go to shopify.com/Sloan. That is shopify.com/Sloan. Let's get into Kim Kardashian. Now, as soon as Kimberly has nothing going on, she inserts herself into the criminal world. I've noticed this pattern over the last few years, but she, like many other people, including myself, watched the Amy Bradley documentary, which was devastating. Have you guys ever been on a cruise before? Comment below. I've been on 2 before, but after watching this documentary, I don't know if I could look at cruises the same way, or at least like not feel safe with my sister on one, because it seems like women are in particular very vulnerable. Like they could just scoop you up and traffic you, put you on drugs. Oh my gosh. Let's do a little prayer that none of you guys ever have to experience any of that. Gosh, God, I pray that none of my subscribers or anyone really has to go through human trafficking or anything like that, because it is horrific to think about. Amen. But it looks like Bradley, Amy's brother, tells tells TMZ that after Kim Kardashian posted on her social media about the Netflix doc, that he reached out to her and asked for help and resources to track down his sister. Now, this is the post that Kimberly shared on her Instagram. This doc is blowing my mind. She writes, "Must see, Amy Bradley is missing. We must find Amy." We have a quick snippet of the trailer. Let's see how much YouTube will let us play.
Everything's great. Thought to see her tomorrow. I went to bed. Around 5:30 in the morning, I saw Amy on the balcony.
Honestly, being on a cruise is so scary. Like, you've got the ocean, the laws aren't the same. Ooh, it just makes you never want to go again.
6 o'clock, woke up again. She wasn't there.
He said, "I've been looking for Amy, and I can't find her."
We check every inch of the ship.
Captain came in.
He says the FBI.
The thing is, like, they didn't throw her off because her body was never retrieved. If she got off that day, they had already known that she had been missing. It's so complicated.
Sir, your daughter's not on this boat.
Just so many theories. If she fell off, something with a voice to show.
That night, I saw Amy and this guy that worked on the boat. I got a bad vibe.
And that guy seems so sketchy. Even his own daughter questions him. Like, you know, this guy has something to hide if your own child is questioning if you're telling the truth. We have the message that Brad sent to Kim, and in it, he talks about getting Kim, Trump, and Rihanna all involved in this rescue. Amy disappeared from a Caribbean cruise with her parents back in March 1998. It's kind of random that he brings up President Trump, but Trump loves like a trending topic. So I could see him like wanting to help just because he likes to speak on these things that are kind of relevant and trending, and everyone wants to find Amy. So it kind of helps him look good if he puts resources towards that. I don't think he probably will, though.
The brother of Amy Bradley. Amy's the woman who vanished from a cruise ship back in 1998. And her brother, Brad Bradley, is hoping that superstar Kim Kardashian can help find his sister. So he reached out to Kim and to music superstar Rihanna for some help, hoping the star's fame and influence will help locate his sister. Now, Rihanna's from Barbados, which is near the area where Amy vanished. And Kim K watched the Netflix doc and told her fans that it was, quote, mind-blowing and a, quote, must-see. And her post also said, quote, "We must find Amy. This is so crazy," at Netflix.
As far as Bradley's family goes, he believes Amy's still out there, so there could be a world where she could be recovered. As far as Kim Kardashian goes, she supposedly hasn't replied to him, so maybe she watched the documentary and then moved on. Let's get into Machine Gun Kelly. Just a few minutes ago, I saw an article from TMZ that like Machine Gun Kelly was clarifying his dating rumors with Sydney Sweeney. You wish. But MGK is acknowledging that he had ruined his relationship with Megan Fox. He is a serial cheater. He can't help himself. I was going to call him a chronic cheater. So supposedly Machine Gun Kelly is admitting that he made a mess that landed him in a secret stay rehab. In some of his latest songs, you'll hear him describe his toxic relationship with Megan, how he spent Christmas in rehab. He doesn't name Megan in any of his songs, but it's clear this whole album is about her. Keep in mind, they share a 4-month-old child named Saga Blade Fox Baker. In one of his songs, he sings, "I'll change for our daughter so she's not alone." Now, this is Megan's 4th child. This is Machine Gun Kelly's 2nd child. He has a pretty much a grown-up daughter. I believe she's between like 15 and 18, maybe even older. Some people are criticizing his lyrics, saying, "What lazy, ridiculous, juvenile lyrics." He thinks that these are poetic. People have already done that. Machine Gun Kelly, you're not edgy, just too funny, and not in a stan way. In one of his songs, he does sing, "This will be the last time you hear me say sorry. That will be the last tear you waste on me crying. I broke this home. The beast killed the beauty. The last petal fell from the rose." Okay, I can see what they're talking about now. This comment reads, "He cheated on her when she was pregnant, and on this album, he admits to lying and keeping it from her, and ruining her kids' Thanksgiving." Now, I saw this viral clip that Machine Gun Kelly only consumes water. He like never eats. And another headline reads that Machine Gun Kelly admits that he pushed himself into a delirious state doing a water fast for 4 days. Now, it looks like this diet that Machine Gun Kelly is trying out, which I do not recommend, is when someone drinks like 2 to 3 liters of mineralized water a day. It looks like it can reduce blood pressure and weight. Well, I would hope so. Can you imagine if you're only drinking water and you don't lose weight? I would be so depressed. But it looks like these benefits do not appear to be permanent. On the 3rd day of his 4-day water fast, MGK says the wildfires in California broke out close to his home. By day 4, he claims he was at his neighbor Michael B. Jordan's house, so random, looking out, and the fire was right there. Quote, "My body's already going through it. I'm pushing myself to a kind of delirious state, and I'm not really sure if the house is going to burn or anything like that. I kind of just gather up some letters and I grab, I don't know, I think I grabbed a Banksy piece or a Picasso piece. Well, I would hope so. Different than some people's evacuation plan, but good for him."
I don't really eat. Just do water a bunch.
You don't eat?
Not really.
You fast mainly? You eat like once a day?
Like, I ate that burger because we're streaming and it's like my main shit, you know, but...
Okay, we weren't streaming. What would you have had for dinner?
Probably water, yeah.
But how? You don't ever feel weak or lightheaded? Like...
Yeah, sometimes I'll eat a couple times a week.
What will you eat for those meals?
Bone broth with kimchi and sauerkraut.
No way. Oh, you're on like permanent fast. Do you drink green juice and shit too?
I drink like celery juice sometimes, yeah. Coconut water.
You're like hella healthy though.
Right, healthy as hell, boy.
Let's get into Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. Now, I need you guys to comment below. Have you seen the Freakier Friday yet? Nobody's commented yet. Do we like it? Do we not like it? The reviews seem pretty good. But right now, Jamie Lee and Lindsay are doing their world tour to go and promote this film. And in Australia, there was a moment that left fans sobbing and devastated. Fans lined up for hours to get autographs and selfies with Lindsay, her new face, and Jamie Lee Curtis. But many fans were left in tears after the Hollywood stars walked straight past them before entering the red carpet. I always feel bad for those fans who are waiting for hours because a lot of times these celebrities are on a tight schedule, so they don't have like 45 minutes to go and do a meet and greet. But they rushed past the fan area, not even like saying hello. On the red carpet, Lindsay spoke to a few publications while her co-star Jamie Lee was interviewed by a few other. But these fans were literally breaking down crying. They were waiting for 8 hours in this line, realizing that they're not actually going to go and meet her. So it definitely changed the whole vibe of the event because everyone's like sobbing and in distress. So everyone is gathered at this event. They have a speaker. They're introducing Lindsay and Jamie Lee Curtis, but they don't ever actually go to the section where the fans are at. You're going to see in the next clip that they're going to walk right by. It looks like this is the fan section. So like where we are, we're sitting with the fans, and they walk right over to the red carpet. And when they're done, they kind of walk right past it. One person said, when you go to Sydney for Freakier Friday premiere and Lindsay and Jamie just skipped the fan area altogether. One person said, I waited hours for them not to come and say hi. I just wanted to see Lindsay. They said fans and even the security guards who were working were confused until someone confirmed the talent had left. So security thought that they were coming through too. It seems like they were prepared for that. So I am sorry to all of our friends who are down under and did not get to see Lindsay and Jamie. If one of you guys are watching, comment below. Let's get into Lil Tay. Lil Tay is a young influencer who, well, she's 18 now, but she's still young, but she gained her fame very young by trolling the internet, cussing them out, and bragging about her money. We also learned more about Lil Tay's upbringing and how dysfunctional it was. Her father was supposedly abusive, her parents were separated, there was a really bad custody battle, and a stepmother who Lil Tay hated. But besides the point, Lil Tay just turned 18 and she decided to launch an OF account, a not safe for work account, where she shares inappropriate pictures of herself. And it turns out that she made over $1 million within her first 3 hours of the platform. Whoever bought those, you are sick. Like that show. I mean, I wish like, what the hell? So then she made another 6,000 in 3 hours. So a total of $1,030,000 in 6 hours. All of those people need to be investigated.
Y'all already know what the f going on. We just broke the the link record with the youngest link of the century. $1 million in a couple hours. I'm still the youngest one doing it. For all the grown-ass haters who've been hating since I was 9 years old, look at me now. What y'all got to say? Y'all been doubting me for 7 years.
Now, before she put out the link to her OF account, she shared this video, and of course, all of the creeps came running in.
Y'all already know what the f going on. Lil Tay's dropping the youngest link of the century. Mark your calendars tomorrow, 3 p.m. EST. And nobody, including my family, including the grown-ass haters, is gonna stop me. You know why? Lil Tay rich and finna get richer.
So gross that she's putting it down to like the minute she was born so that she could make sure she cashes in. This comment reads, "I've been waiting since you were 8. Another person writes, "Where's the link? It's been 2 hours. Another person writes, "Been waiting 18 years for this, and I'm 46. Go and investigate them. Someone please go and investigate those people. Now, of course, this new OF account has gotten a lot of backlash, but she claims she's just being like a feminist, that she's like sex positive, like Sydney Sweeney and Sabrina Carpenter. There are still concerns swirling over whether Lil Tay may have uploaded content before she was legally of age. There's been speculation around her age in general, but keep in mind, if she's trying to drop it on the minute, does that mean like she created the content before she was 18? Which you guys know what that means.
I just turned 18, and honestly, my biggest reason for wanting to drop the link
has been Sabrina Carpenter and Sydney Sweeney.
They are literally my top inspirations, and honestly, for anybody that doesn't like them and shitting on them and doesn't think they're inspirational,
you need to check your misogyny.
They're getting
so much backlash, but just think about the beginning of any revolution. Like, this is reminiscent of the time that women were fighting to vote, because why are we fighting to be free to express ourselves? Everybody out there, every girl out there
should see Sabrina Carpenter
and Sydney Sweeney as their inspirations.
They're the ones that are bringing women forward into 3025, and for everybody saying that they're bringing women back 100 years, you're just hating. You don't want women to be able to express themselves.
Let's get into Piers Morgan. Now, Beyonce may be sketchy in some ways. Maybe her husband has a past, but one thing you cannot do is come for Beyonce. Like, I don't think there's enough evidence, which is why Piers Morgan is trying to say that Beyonce is culturally appropriating Marilyn Monroe. At this point, we need to like redefine what cultural appropriation means, because she was wearing a blonde like hairdo that I guess kind of looks Marilyn Monroe-esque. Piers Morgan said very disappointed to see how Beyonce is culturally appropriating Marilyn Monroe and her new Levi's ad. Wait, if Beyonce is born in America and Marilyn Monroe is born in America, aren't we the same culture? Because it's not like racial appropriation, right? I'm going to need you guys in the comment. I love how educated you guys are. I really do. Let me know in the comments below. This person, Charisse, criticized Pierce on Twitter, saying this is an idiotic post. Just say you think she looks attractive and go. Pierce replied saying, "Oh, Charisse, I would say I can't believe anyone took my obvious Beyonce joke post seriously, but I forget the woke brigade have zero sense of humor." So from my perspective, it seems like Piers Morgan was upset by the Sydney Sweeney situation and then tried to go and drag Beyonce into it, but really with no success.
Now, I presume, Ernest, you would share my view that this is a disgraceful, culturally appropriating moment where she is hijacking Marilyn Monroe in a disgraceful manner. In fact, borderline racist and possibly akin to the Nazis. Would you agree?
You actually don't know anything about cultural appropriation, Pierce. You're just hijacking words like woke, misusing them with your political bias, and trying to spin it into something it's not.
We did see him get into it with Jake Paul, which I'm always looking forward to people arguing with Jake Paul. He's such a tool. Both these guys are tools, so they're perfect for each other. Pierce wrote, "I posted a few weeks ago that Jake Paul's boxing career is boring, staged BS. What I meant is that his fights have been predominantly against older, past their prime opponents, which may be lucrative for both sides and may have entertainment value, but it doesn't really reveal his true skill." Well, it looks like Alex Spiro, who I've heard of before, was actually retained by Mr. Jake Paul to go and pursue a case against Piers Morgan for these, like this allegation, this statement. It looks like Jake was pissed. He said, "I've dedicated my life to boxing and I will no longer let those with a public profile harm me or the sport I love and respect without consequences." Piers Morgan actually invited Jake onto his show to go and have a friendly debate. Let's go ahead and take a look at how that went down.
But the problem is the only proper boxer you fought was Tommy Fury, and he beat you. And he's not even the best. He's not even the best fighter in his family.
Golden Gloves champion Andre August, Brian Borland as well. Anderson Silva was an undefeated boxer. I mean, you can sit there and make up shit, but you actually don't know your facts. I fought multiple boxers with professional records, and including Mike Tyson himself, who I think is going to be a harder fight than Chavez.
Yeah, but Tyson, peak Tyson, you wouldn't have lasted 10 seconds.
That's what you think. That's what you
think.
No,
I know that. You know that too.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't actually know that. You can't sit there and
you think
state
you'd have beaten Mike Tyson?
Hey, back in the
one thing about Piers Morgan is that he is so good at trolling. Like, he will keep a stone face and look at you and be like, you know that. He's so savage.
I think anything is possible. That's why self-belief is the most powerful thing in the world.
You would have had two hopes. No disrespect to you, Jay. Jay, no disrespect.
That's what I want.
You would have had two hopes of beating Mike Tyson
as well.
You'd have had two hopes of beating
Anthony Joshua as well.
You against Mike Tyson, you'd have had two hopes. No hope and Bob Hope.
And you versus going to the gym, you're still a fat ass.
Actually,
so what do you want to talk about?
Wow. Okay, clearly he has no idea what to say. He's like, oh, I'm going to go use this lawyer and get you.
In the last 2 days,
what do you want to talk about? Like, we can make up hypotheticals. You should go to the gym. If you went to the gym,
I've been twice this week. It
could all come crashing down. Is that you think that your opinion matters?
Well, why are you doing my show if it doesn't?
Oh, I'm just taking your audience to sell pay-per-views. I don't give a you dumbass. This is a fucking business enterprise. Buy the pay-per-view on Saturday, June 28th, me versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Thank you. Tune in, everybody.
Cheers, Jake. Really enjoyed that. And good luck to Julio. Knock him out for all of us, will you?
Let's get into Alex Earl and Alex Cooper. So we are currently dealing with the war of the Alexes on social media. Alex Earl seemingly hints to her rumored feud with Alex Cooper, responding with, how much time do you have? Sitting in the car in the video, Alex said, my co-star told me that I can start crap today. Co-star is an astrology app to go and get your future predictions, your horoscope. So Alex was sitting in her car and she said that her co-star app told her that she can start crap today. She also claims that she has a bunch of information and she's been waiting to release it, so it's time to go. And it seems like she's got dirt on Alex Cooper.
My co-star told me that I can start shit today. It told me. It said you can start some shit. So, I mean, co-star told me to. And like, low-key, I kind of like, I mean, is this my time that I've been waiting for to go? It's like, I have so much information. We could go. I've just been waiting for co-star to tell me to.
The feud between the influencers started after Alex Earl exited the Hot Mess podcast, which was backed by Alex Cooper's Unwell Network. Alex Cooper responded to the rumors about a rift, saying, Alex not being able to do the podcast here has nothing to do with Unwell. I don't know why she can't and what's going on. So it kind of seems like Alex Cooper was maybe in the dark at this point as to why like Alex Earl wanted to leave the Hot Mess podcast. Alex Earl spoke to the Wall Street Journal saying that there was behind the scenes drama that led to her podcast hiatus, saying that was behind the scenes a little bit of a hot mess, which goes along with the podcast name. Now, I just really want to hear what's going on between Alex Cooper and Xandria. That sounds interesting to me. But I told you guys that in this episode, I would go onto the stripper pole. If you are watching, you're not currently on Spotify or Apple podcast, then you won't be able to see this. But on YouTube, I'm going to go and try to go upside down on the pole because I told you guys in my video on my main channel yesterday, the Woe Vicky one. If you've not seen it, go and check it out. Then I will try. So let's go ahead and try this. I'm not even going to move the camera. I'm just going to go try it and then we'll close out the episode that way. So you guys won't be able to hear me. So could Nikayla, our wonderful editor, add some music?
She was a fairy.